Hi, it's me again, Tammy Benoit, and I got another story for you. And this one is called George. Well, we used to play down in our park down in South Fairmount all the time. We used to have a big pool, and we would swim, just about every day. And we would try to hustle money to get candy from a little store called Chow's. Well, one day we was down there by Chow's, and this old man, he was standing there, and we thought he was waiting on the bus. Well, he wasn't. He was just standing there. And all of a sudden he just knew that we was trying to hustle a couple times, nickels. Well, he was like, here's $1. He said, you guys go buy you some candy. So we did. Come back out, he's still standing there. And we was like, well, where you live at? He says, I live up on Amore Place. And it was a street over from where I lived, from Salem. Well, so it got to the point where we would go over and visit him, and he would just give us money every day. And we just knew, like, okay, we're going to go swimming or whatever, and we're going to go to George's and get money. So that's what we did. And we did it for like maybe a year. So then one day, we came by and we knocked on his door and knocked on his door. He never answered. Well, this was like a multi-complex, like apartment building. Like maybe there was like, I don't know, maybe like 5 apartments in it. Well, so we kept banging, banging and banging and banging. And then this old woman came out and says, why you keep banging on that door? She was mad. And we was like, well, we come here for George. Now, mind you, this is a year later. So we was like, well, we came here for George. She said, George who? So we, explained to her what he looked like, and, that every day that we came there and he gave us money for candy and stuff like that. She says, there's not a George that lives here. And I said, well, maybe his name's different than George. I said, who lives here? She said, nobody lives here. And I said, oh, well, maybe he moved out or whatever. She said, just get out of the yard. So, back in them days, they didn't play with you. So we left, and we thought, well, maybe he moved or whatever. So we went swimming and all that stuff as usual, like we did every day. Well, we go to Chow's grocery store again. Here, George was standing there again. We was like, hey, we came to your house. We knocked on the door, and the lady came out and asked us how come we was knocking on your door, and we got yelled at, and she made us leave, and she said that you don't live there. He said, what lady are you talking about? And we was like, well, the old lady that came out. He said, she don't know anything about me. I don't know why she would even tell you that. So I said, okay. So he gave us money. We went in, got more candy and everything, and we told him that we would see him the following day. Well, that's exactly what we did. We went swimming again. Like I said, every day we went swimming. So we went up, knocked on his door. Well, here come George. He gave us money. Yeah, well, it went on as planned every day. He looked forward to seeing us. And then it got to the point we were asking him, like, well, do you need any help, like, taking out your garbage or anything like that? And he's like, no, I'm fine. So I don't know, this went on for probably another, we'll say, 2 months. Well, we come, knocked on the door as usual. George never answered. So we're banging on it again. Guess what? Here comes the old lady again to yell at us. You're back again? We told you there's nobody living up there. And we was like, yeah, we already seen him after that, and he said that you don't know what you're talking about, that he lives up there. She said, I'm telling you, I own this building and nobody lives up there. We was like, okay. So we just laughed and giggled and left. So we kept, returning every day. Well, George wasn't answering the door. George wasn't answering the door. George wasn't down at the corner of Chow's. We was like, what is going on? So, we're kids, we just let it go. So here goes another day that we walked to Chow's grocery store. Here George is standing there. We told him, we said, we keep knocking on your door and all that. So he explained that he took naps and this and that. Okay. So we told him we would come and see him the following day. So we did. Well, we knocked on his door. George came down, opened the door, gave us money, and we was like, we don't understand. Who's the old lady? He said, what does the old lady look like? And we told him. I said, she said she owned this building. He said, that old lady has been dead for 70 years. Thank you. Like and subscribe.